Hello, the purpose of this video is just a little bit of homework help in case you want to check your answers or maybe you're still a little confuzzled on what's going on with these diagrams. So I picked number 16, which is on the bottom of page 5, to solve out and show you how to do this. So the relationship is just wanting you to identify if it's complementary, supplementary, or possibly vertical angles. When I look at number 16, I see the straight line. Whenever I see a straight line, I should automatically be thinking about my 180. Okay, so that's when I make like a half a rotation. I don't turn all the way around, I just turn around. All right, so the relationship then is supplementary. A new vocabulary word for us. That means angles with a sum of 180. The equation I'm going to write off to the side since I want to be able to solve it, is saying if I take the 15x minus 12 and so that's my obtuse angle, and I add it to that little angle there, I'm going to have 180 degrees. So if I add those two angles together, it should equal my 180 because they're a straight line. Okay, now I have an equation. Okay, we just spent a long time practicing our equations. So I have a 15x plus 5x. So I have 20 x's all together. Then I also have this minus 12 and this minus 18. Since they're both minuses, I think of that as negative. So altogether I have negative 30, and I represent that with a minus 30. Drop down your equal and your 180. And now you have a two-step equation. So clues and undos would tell me I need to add 30 first. Okay, that zeroes out because you have a negative and a positive 30. Drop down that 20x, equal sign, add them together. Okay, one last and final step. We are going to divide. Clues and undos would tell us to divide last. X equals 210 divided by 20. Let's see, that doesn't work, does it? So 10.5. X is 10.5. And you're done. Okay, so X is 10.5, and your equation, you don't have to rewrite it for my sake. If you showed beautiful workspace, you should be good. All right, let's pick another one to solve out together. Alright, I just slid over to number 17 because I do want to talk about these types of angles. So this was a new vocab word for us as well. When this angle is across the other angle, those are called vertical. Sorry, my pen doesn't work well. Vertical angles. And what's so awesome about vertical angles is that they are equal. Okay, so you're gonna, when we look at diagrams all week, always spot out your vertical angles so you don't have to do the math. You just know they are equal. Okay, so your equation's gonna look a little different this time because of that. Alright, so if x plus 16 and the other angle are equal, we're gonna set them equal to each other. So it doesn't equal 180, it doesn't equal 90. We don't know what they equal, but we know they are the same. So now we have to solve an equation where we have a variable on both sides of the equation. So you guys did pretty well with that in class. It means we need to do the inverse. Since I don't want negative 3, I'm going to take away the 1x on this side. So subtract 1x on both sides. We'll zero it out on the left, and it'll bring down a positive 3x on the right. Okay, so variables on both sides is when you have to do the inverse because they're separated by that equal sign, right? Okay, so now after the variables are together, I'm ready for my clues and undos. And that tells me to add 5 first. That's positive, right? Nothing's negative, so drop down everything we haven't used. And we got one more step. Divide by 3 and divide by 3. And this one came out to a whole number, which always makes us feel good, right? Alright, so the equation is up there, and you just write 7 on the line. Sorry, I can't write with this pen. Alright, 7. Ignore that. Alright, good work. Okay, I'm going to do one more just for fun. Looking ahead, I don't know if you would have gotten this far in class, so definitely good to talk about. So I'm going to highlight this line here, and not very well. Let me try that again. So highlighting this line here, we know that's 180 degrees because it's a straight line. And we also know, thanks to this wonderful symbol here, that this side is 90. And if I take 180 minus 90, that tells me that the other side also has to be 90. So whenever you see a 90-degree angle symbol, that's going to be very helpful because it tells you that both of those supplementary angles are 90. So knowing that this side is 90 tells me that if I add this angle x plus 1 and this angle here 3x plus 1, they're going to be 90 degrees. So that makes them complementary. Okay, so there's your relationship, and then off to the side we're going to write the equation so I have room to do that. Alright, so x plus 1 plus 3x plus 1. So I'm adding those two angles together. They're complementary because they're 90 degrees. Okay, and then it's just an equation. So 1x plus 3x is 4x. A positive 1 and a positive 1 is plus 2 equals 90. Clues and undos tells us to subtract first. 4x equals 90 minus 2 is 88, and that should divide easily by 4. So x equals 22. Alright, so that's the one on complementary angles. Alright, good luck with the rest of your worksheet.